When people see me, the first thing they say is, oh, he's on steroids. Nobody can recognize what it means to spend days and hours and years and compounded interest. It's impossible for people to see that. But what they see is their life. When you picture how your life is, you can only go from what you've experienced in your environment. You know nothing else. But this journey, it's gonna require more of you. My name is Adoniel Sisaya, also known as Circle Fitness, and this is my fitness journey. So I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I moved to the US when I was 13. And my journey pretty much started back home, honestly. My mom was in the Air Force. So I grew up seeing a lot of military soldiers, just jacked and strong. So over time, that kind of instilled this mental attribute in me. I wanted to be just like that. I wanted to be strong, you know? Then there's a lot of altercations that happen with a lot of military men that I watched that was inspiring to see how strong a human body could be, like the human body, how strong the human body could be. So that was inspiring to me. So when I moved to the United States, speeded up like 15, I didn't feel healthy. Back then I didn't have health insurance. So I was like, what can I do to protect my health? And then I went back to the concept of fitness when I fell in love with fitness. And I was like, let me learn everything I could possibly learn and begin to utilize that to better my health. So I started fitness strictly for health. So honestly, started my fitness journey, I didn't want to get this big. This just happened because I fell in love with this. I saw that the harder I pushed myself, the more I grew. So I was like, hey, fuck it. Let's get bigger. But my initial goal was to have abs. I always had abs, but I wanted it to be more defined, and I wanted to be healthier. So that was my first goal, to be healthy and have abs. Then I kind of fell in love with modeling, and I wanted to model a little bit. So I was like, I could do this if I have abs. So I started working on that. So I would do push-ups every day. I would do sit-ups every day. I would do like body weight squats every day. I would do this at least almost 5 days a week. I created a routine around this, but sometimes I fell off. Back then I was younger, you know, I had a lot of distractions like TV, Power Rangers to be specific. But you know, those were also the things that inspired my journey. I would say one of my struggles in the beginning was fatigue. So even though I was working out, my nutrition was trash. So I would watch YouTube videos, or I would look at like books, men's health magazines on fitness, and I would do what they showed, but my nutrition was horrible. It was like not good. So I struggled with maintaining my conditioning or my tone as a young dude, you know, and I ran out of energy so fast. And that was my initial struggle. I knew something was wrong. If you're starting your fitness journey, here's some things to look out for. I'll tell you this, if your nutrition is not proper or is not adequate, you're not gonna get better. I mean, initially you might see a good markers, but it will eventually boil down to the part that you don't have the right fuel. Imagine going to the gas station with a regular car and putting diesel in it. You're going to eventually destroy your engine. So your body is like a car. You got to fuel it with the right nutrition. I would say my first major plateau was when I was 17, almost 18, somewhere around there. I doing a lot of push-ups, doing a lot of sit-ups and stuff like that. But I just felt like I wasn't getting better, you know? I didn't have any gym membership yet. So this plateau was like, what am I doing wrong? You know, why is that person making progress and I'm stagnant. Then I decided to sign up to a gym. My first gym membership was Fitness USA. One of the best gym back then. So right now, if you're experiencing your major plateau, like for example, your weight loss is stagnant, or you're not building muscle, or you're tired all the time, so there's something you're doing wrong. And it could be anything, but these are the major factors that could be affecting your progress. So firstly, are you sleeping enough? You know, if you're not sleeping enough, that's an issue you're gonna have to deal with. Secondly, are you in the right caloric deficit? If you don't have the right caloric deficit, that could be a problem. Are you eating enough protein? So if you don't have enough protein in your body, that could be a problem also. Are you stressed? So meditation is so important to calm your mind down, calm your spirit. I mean, if you're constantly racing, it's hard to really stay connected to your body, to your mind, to your environment, and you're more likely to get hurt in the gym. So these factors are majorly important to look out for when you're experiencing your major plateau. So the consistency you need is you need a good amount of discipline, because you have to literally show up at least 3 to 4 times out the week, consistently, day in and day out, week in and week out, months in and months out. You have to consistently show up for yourself. This is the commitment that you made for you. And without that, you would yield absolutely no progress. When people see me, the first thing they say is, oh, he's on steroids. But the human capacity is so limited, it can only see what they can understand. Nobody can recognize what it means to spend days and hours and years and compounded interest. It's impossible for people to see that. But what they see is their life. And when you picture how your life is, you can only go from what you've experienced in your environment. You know nothing else. But this journey is going to require more of you. What are the benefits of being fit? I would say this. First of all, you feel good in your own skin. And there's nothing better than self-love. First, before anything else, loving yourself is absolutely important. Secondly, you're looked upon as very disciplined and able to handle any task. So when you look fit, most people see you as disciplined and ready to take on anything. So you can get a promotion at work. If you had an interview, you most likely will be the first one to get hired. If you're in a line at a buffet, most people clear out the way because they're probably scared of you. There's so many benefits, but forget the fear part. The biggest part of it is you get to love yourself, and a lot of people don't. So that's the start that I want you to focus on, self-love. So what fitness has done for me personally, I've gotten to work out with some of the top fitness influencer, Max the Body. I've gotten to meet amazing fitness people over the years. I'm sponsored by Prozis. I've taken trips. I've seen people that I might never have seen. I've learned to love myself. I've always loved myself, but it's more spiritual now. The journey of discovery within oneself is the greatest journey you will ever make. So I would say fitness has changed my life, and it will change your life too, if you give it a chance and decide to take the first step to begin on your journey today. So first, I started off as a certified trainer. I was certified by American Council of Exercise, ACE. When I got my certification, I later on found Human Kinetics. So that was in exercise physiology, and I graduated from Wayne State University with that. And I learned so much about biomechanics, like how the human body functions. This is something you cannot find on YouTube unless you know what you're looking for. And most people don't. You know, the ability to be functional and to look at your body in such a way that you understand without mobility, you're going to be useless. So remember this, if you're not mobile, your body eventually will break down. The functionality of your muscle cells, the way your ligaments and your joints move together is so important. Protect your joints, protect your body, and have a long life in fitness. That is so important. So honestly, I thought over the years it would be harder. Some parts are harder, yes. I mean, because life is happening, you know, you have more responsibilities. But what happens is you've always dealt with problems in your past. So what happens is you grow from those problems. And when new problems come in, you already fine-tuned to take on more problems. So it's in a way, you become a tougher, more harder, more disciplined person, especially if you say, for the rest of my life, you tell yourself, for the rest of my life, I'm going to work out, no matter what. If it's twice a week, if it's once a week, if it's 4 times a week, you've made a commitment to yourself that for the rest of your life, you'll work out. You will continue to do it. It's a choice. You choose to be better. So when it comes to eating, I have days when my eating goes up, like months, or when I sometimes bring it down. It's just based on whatever goal I decide to follow through in a certain period of time. But the maintenance is basically based on me keeping my consistency, keeping my mind locked in to make sure that I always put myself first, because you are so important and nobody else will ever put you first unless you do that for you. So remember that. Future goals with fitness is basically to spend the rest of my life helping as much people as possible. And what online training has done for me recently, I'm able to reach out to more people that I wouldn't be able to reach out to and get them to sign on to my program. The grand scheme of this is, for years to come, my goal is to create a facility where it has mental health for fitness, where it has the physical portion of it, and where it has for the rehab portion of it. My goal is to create a facility that helps you facilitate the best version of yourself. And that to me is a game changer for anybody that is looking for a total approach to really lock in to their best self.